Hi, my name is Rachel Yerger, and this is my final project for executive leadership. My agency that I made up is called the Evoville Sheriff's Office. The town of Evoville has a population of 7,891. It is located in the Tennessee mountains near Deals Gap. The sheriff has lived in the town his whole life and has personally talked to every citizen who lives in the town. The sheriff values meeting everyone himself and takes pride in his interactions with the people. The Evoville Sheriff's Office has been operating for 124 years. The crime rate in the area is typically low due to the small population of the town. The jail consists of 10 cells that are usually not full. If someone gets arrested, they are typically released the next day. Evoville was founded in 1869 and has been a small town for its entire existence. The police force consists of 14 deputies for the whole area. The current sheriff has been in service for 26 years and does not plan on retiring anytime soon. This agency is part of the public sector, therefore it differs greatly from the private and nonprofit sectors. One difference is that Evoville Sheriff's Office provides governmental services to all of Evoville. By providing patrol services to the area, the Evoville Sheriff's Office is different than a nonprofit or private sector organization. The private sector would, for example, have security guards who are paid through a private company to patrol areas, but the sheriff's office is not like that. It provides professional governmental services to the area of Evoville. Another difference that the Evoville Sheriff's Office has from the private sector and nonprofit organizations is that services provided by the deputies of this town are meant for anyone to use, not just individuals. The Sheriff's Office is a public-owned organization. That means that taxpayers own the organization and the services of the organization are a public service. Being controlled by the state is a characteristic of the public sector. The Evoville Sheriff's Office is controlled by the state. It is controlled by the state in that it is funded by the government, and it enforces laws that are made by governments. The Evoville Sheriff's Office does not have any characteristics that are described as those organizations that are non-profit or in the private sector. It is the mission of the Evoville Sheriff's Office to serve and protect the residents and visitors of Evoville. A way of serving the citizens of Evoville is by providing patrol to all the areas of Evoville. Another service that will be provided is a jail. These services are provided by professional staff members who are very well trained. It is the mission of the Evoville Sheriff's Office to remain one of the safest places to live in the United States. It is very important to all members of the Evoville Sheriff's Office that people enjoy their time in Evoville. Every organization has an organizational structure. At the top of the Evoville Sheriff's Office organizational structure chart is the sheriff. The sheriff belongs to the top for a couple of reasons. One reason is because he was elected to the position. The sheriff is the head of the agency and he ultimately makes all big decisions for the agency. Just below the sheriff on the organizational chart is the chief deputy. The chief deputy is responsible for making sure that the day-to-day operations of the sheriff's office are running smoothly. It is up to the chief deputy to make sure that everyone who is part of the agency is following all policies and procedures. In the organizational chart below the Chief Deputy comes the Bureau Commanders. The Bureau Commanders are the captains of the bureaus. There are 3 bureaus for the Evansville Sheriff's Office, which consist of Road Patrol, Detention, and Courts. These 3 bureau commanders are of equal rank and they all have the same responsibilities but deal with issues unique to their bureau. Lieutenants are under the bureau commanders. The lieutenants are the first line of defense when it comes to issues who arise. They are the lowest ranking of the brass in the hierarchy of the sheriff's office. When there is a citizen's complaint, the lieutenants take initiative to solve the issue. If a deputy needs reprimanded, then typically lieutenants are the supervisors to do that. Next comes sergeants and corporals, then deputies, then civilian staff. One goal of the sheriff's office is to take all precautions to guard the community from disasters. A second goal of the sheriff's office is to be able to respond to any emergencies in a timely manner. Another goal is to be able to recover from disasters. These goals are common goals of many agencies. They show that organizations are professional and willing to help the communities in order to keep things running as smoothly as possible. The role of human resources plays in the organization is a very important one. Human resources is responsible for hiring, promotions, and many other activities. The legal and political environments in which law enforcement agencies must operate are very complex. The legal environment in particular is more complex as each day goes by. The economy affects everyone in some way. Law enforcement can be affected by the economy as well. There are 2 ways in which the economy can affect law enforcement and their ability to perform their duties. One way that the economy affects law enforcement is that there typically are budget cuts when the economy is not doing so well. The second way that the economy can affect law enforcement is because when the economy is not doing so well, the crime rates will go up. Risk assessment is another important part of an organization. Being in law enforcement, the risks are endless, but somehow they need to be analyzed. The risk analysis of law enforcement officers is needed. Risk assessment not only puts the risks that law enforcement officers may encounter out in the open, but it allows for us to plan how we will react when the risk becomes an emergency. The type of risk assessment I would use for my sheriff's office would be issue-based risk assessment. Through this type of risk assessment, plans are developed in order to combat significant risk. Communication is a key function of any organization. Sometimes communication can be exceptionally important in law enforcement agencies. A controlling style of communication is common among law enforcement agencies. The sheriff's office sometimes is in need of the facts and nothing else. This is a very efficient way of communicating. Community involvement is a big goal for most law enforcement agencies. It is always good to have deputies do community policing. Community policing occurs when deputies go out into the communities and touch base with many of the citizens, especially those who are known to frequently get in trouble with the law. The benefit of community policing is that it helps law enforcement officers or agencies keep track of where offenders are living or visiting frequently, and when offenders see law enforcement is visiting them and checking on them, then it will deter them from committing as many crimes.